Even though they are hundreds of miles away, one local family was still able to watch tonight's big game with loved ones. You could say technology scored a touchdown. And local restaurants had to get creative to still cash in on the Super Bowl. Health officials are concerned that the Super Bowl party gatherings could lead to more spread of the virus.
Live in high definition from your news leader, this is Jet 24 Action News at 11.
New at 11, creativity and technology scores a touchdown. It's bringing families together virtually to watch the Super Bowl, even if they are hundreds of miles away. Celebrities, including Shaquille O'Neal, are using it too. One family from Northeast used a video calling app called Duo to watch the game. This allows their son, who is a Buccaneers fan, to watch the game with his uncle from Georgia, who's a diehard Chiefs fan.
It stinks because of the times that we're in the situation, but it definitely makes sense. What we've been given, it's a great option to have.
Callaway says the family also did this during the conference championship games because they were quarantining from COVID-19. As folks tuned in to one of the most watched and most profitable events of the year, local restaurants had to get creative to still cash in on the Super Bowl. Julia Hazel has the story.
Hi, I came to get pizza for my parents who are here in Mill Creek, and we're excited to have the good old football food, wings and pizza.
And restaurants are seeing an increase in carry-out orders.
Prepping is key. Being ready for the influx of business in the short amount of time that you have. It's usually from about 3 to 6 is our crunch time, and we try to get ready and prepare everything we can for that.
Whether you wait outside or walk in to pick up your food, Valerio's created a fun big game atmosphere while maintaining social distancing.
We're going to have customers cashing out in the front, and then we're going to give them their receipts, and then they're going to come out here, and then we have our runners who will go in the kitchen, grab all the food, just to really expedite the process. And we kind of create a cool atmosphere in here too. We got the snacks, we'll have the game on the TV over here, kind of decorate it a little bit, make it a little more festive, create the Super Bowl atmosphere, keeping and maintaining social distance. Before we had this set up, we only would allow 3 customers in the lobby, so the same thing is going to still happen.
Julia Hazel, Jet 24 Action News.
And Mike Fenner will have more on the Super Bowl. That's coming up later in sports. As the COVID-19 vaccine rollout continues to gain momentum, the number of reported cases of the virus are trending downward. ABC's Elwin Lopez reports there are some concerns about people gathering to watch the Super Bowl, and it could lead to more spread of the virus.
The U.S. death toll from COVID-19 continues to rise. More than 462,000 American lives lost, according to Johns Hopkins University. But an HHS document obtained by ABC News shows there has been a 4-week downward trend of reported coronavirus cases, resulting in a 50% decline since the peak on January 8th. This positive news coming as the vaccine rollout slowly gains momentum. The CDC reporting more than 30 million Americans have received at least 1 dose, and about 2% of the country has received both shots.
Just thrilled to death. I couldn't believe it. I feel so blessed.
But on this Super Bowl Sunday, there is concern crowds gathering to watch the game could become super spreader events.
Viruses will not evolve and mutate if you do not give them an open playing field.
Meanwhile, in Washington, the debate over President Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID relief package continues, including those $1,400 checks for many Americans. The size of those checks non-negotiable for the president. But in an interview with CBS News, signaling he may be willing to target those checks to Americans with lower incomes.
I'm prepared to negotiate that, but here's the deal. Middle-class folks need help.
Republicans arguing the package is just too big, the price tag too high.
Well, I think Republicans are willing to spend between $600 and $700 billion more.
Democrats pushing back.
This is a moment where the greatest risk we could take, as the president has said, is not the risk of doing too much, it's the risk of doing too little.
A new ABC News Ipsos poll shows 49% of Americans think Biden should pass his package with just Democratic votes. 40% support a smaller relief bill with bipartisan support. Elwin Lopez, ABC News, Atlanta.
The State Department of Health reports 71 new COVID-19 deaths in the past 24 hours. First, here are the latest COVID-19 numbers for our region. Erie County reports 86 new positive cases of COVID-19, bringing the total to 16,079. Crawford County reporting 13 additional cases. Warren County, 15 new cases. Chautauqua County continues to report a total of 6,961 cases. Ashtabula County reporting 9 new cases. Meanwhile, the Commonwealth reports 4,717 new COVID cases for a total of more than 870,000. There were 71 new deaths reported. The total number of COVID-19 deaths in the state now stands at 22,467. And here are the regional COVID-19 vaccination numbers. In Erie County, there have been 22,449 total vaccinations. In Crawford County, 14,445 vaccinations have been performed. And in Warren County, 3,870 shots have been given. Across Pennsylvania, more than 1.2 million people have been vaccinated. The debate in Washington continues as President Trump's second impeachment trial is set to begin on Tuesday. ABC's Rachel Scott reports that some GOP senators think the trial is unconstitutional and a conviction seems unlikely.
The second impeachment trial for former President Donald Trump begins in the Senate on Tuesday. The single article of impeachment alleges Trump incited the January 6th riot on Capitol Hill.
In the one article impeachment is that he singularly incited a riot to invade the Capitol, and I do not think that will be proved in the trial, no.
We're going to do our constitutional responsibility and hold a trial.
Sources tell ABC News congressional investigators are combing through video to see if they link Trump and his associates to the insurrection, including this one obtained by ABC News.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you very much.
It shows Trump's longtime associate Roger Stone near men in militia gear, 2 of them with Oath Keeper insignias, just hours before that deadly Capitol Hill riot. Stone has denied any involvement. Democrats claim the former president summoned the mob to Washington. An ABC News investigation found more than a dozen of those who stormed the Capitol said they were following the president's lead. But Trump's lawyers maintain he did nothing wrong, arguing the impeachment trial is unconstitutional. Longtime Trump ally Senator Lindsey Graham agrees, telling CBS
that if you believe he committed a crime, he can be prosecuted like any other citizen. Impeachment is a political process.
Democrats need the support of 17 Republicans in order to convict. GOP Senator Pat Toomey on CNN standing by his previous comments that he believes Trump committed impeachable offenses, but considers conviction unlikely.
I mean, you did have 45 Republican senators vote to suggest that they didn't think it was appropriate to conduct a trial. So you can infer how likely it is that those folks will vote to convict.
It's still unclear how long the trial will last. One of Trump's lawyers has asked that the trial pause during the Jewish Sabbath. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer's office tells me they will respect and honor that request and that conversations about the structure of the trial continue. Rachel Scott, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
We now know the name of the victim killed in yesterday's wreck in Conneaut Township. According to Pennsylvania State Police, 35-year-old Tyson Copeland was killed around 4:20 on Route 18 south of Moses Road. Copeland failed to negate a curve, drove into a ditch, and then was ejected from his truck. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The death has been ruled accidental due to multiple blunt force trauma. And coming up on Jet 24 Action News at 11 o'clock, one local church is doing its part to give thanks to essential workers. That's after a look at Craig's forecast. I've seen that fire out of the corner of my eye for the past 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's cold tonight. Gonna need a fireplace to stay warm tonight. Also tracking a little bit of snow. Complete forecast next.
From your news leader, you're watching Brian Wilk, meteorologist Craig Flint, and Mike Fenner with sports. This is Jet 24 Action News, your news leader.